All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to another Labor Live at 5 or Labor Live AF. And we have so much going on right now that we're going to try to take you all through it. But these are extremely busy times for the labor movement. And joining me tonight is Secretary Treasurer Montserrat Garibay. Welcome, Montse.
Hi, how are you all?
We're doing great. We may have a special guest as we move through. We'll have to wait and see. That's kind of live Facebook. We'll see, or live whatever we are. We'll figure it out. I think we have to start the show by remembering for a minute the amazing life of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We've already moved into the political aspect of it, but before we even get to that, just her life is an example of somebody who changed the world through her commitment to fighting for justice for all people, for women in particular. And what an inspiration to all of us. Montse, did you have any reflections on that?
Yes, for sure. I watched the documentary and it just really, I'm just very grateful of everything that she did for all of the women, right? Like I was reading a big list of all the things that we are able to do because of her, right? Like rent an apartment, decide, little things like getting a bank account, things that we maybe sometimes take it for granted, but for sure, the legacy that she did for all women, it's incredible. And it was a sad moment on Friday for sure, but we must be ruthless and keep fighting on and demand justice for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a lesson of her life. To the very end, saying that her most fervent wish is that she not be replaced until after the election. I'm sure Mitch McConnell will take that deeply to heart, or not. As we head into the election with that as the backdrop, and we see already John Cornyn and others who were so strong that when there was a vacancy 9 months before the election when President Obama was leaving office, that those 9 months were such that we had to wait to have another Supreme Court justice, and they wouldn't even give a hearing to Merrick Garland because of the principle of the people having a say. Now, not so important. Mitch McConnell has already said, he's moving forward. Donald Trump has said he's moving forward. John Cornyn has said he's moving forward despite directly opposite. And I think what we're seeing is that this is about power, y'all. This is not about any kind of rules or traditions or anything like that. The only rule right now is if you have the power, you can do what you're going to do. I think that it's up to us to demonstrate that we have power too.
That's right. That's right. And on that note, Rick, I think it's important to remind everybody that, yes, you saw it here. We have 43 days until election day, November 3rd. And we have 22 days until early voting. So everyone that's watching, the masses that are watching us should take that into account and really organize, get 5 people to register to vote. Make sure that you're registered to vote, right? Because if you're not registered to vote, you can't vote, right?
We got a lot to get. I'm a little worried that we're using a little bit too much math on this show now. Last week, hopefully y'all will remember, we had to go over how Labor Live at 5 actually was at 5 o'clock, and that it was live. That was a pretty good math lesson. Now you're introducing 2 new math numbers that people are going to have to remember. I feel personally challenged, but confident that everyone will be able to accommodate that bit of knowledge in their thing. But on all seriousness, registering to vote is a big deal. And can you talk a little bit about what tomorrow is and what the Texas AFL-CIO is doing to make sure that we can get as many people registered as possible?
Yes, well, tomorrow it is the big Union Voter Registration Text Bank. Our online Army Texas AFL-CIO Union members can meet us at 6 p.m., register in our online training, and get the tools that you need to make sure that everyone in your community is registered to vote. And we have been meeting for the past, I guess, month, and it's been good. We had a few challenges, last week we said we were going to get as many Texas AFT members. We were a little bit under the numbers, but that's okay. The Workers United really got really high.
Workers United showed up.
They sure did, and Terra members as well. So
Terra
I think
showed up.
Bring the challenge. I say show up, and if we can knock, let's talk. Right?
Go. So tomorrow we're going to be, and you can sign up on our website, texasaflcio.org, and sign up to join our Army, and you'll get notice of all the different events that we're going to be having weekly, bi-weekly, and as the election gets closer, every day, where we can't block walk, but we can sure get the word out to our members. We can get the word out to our community about what's at stake. And the first step is making sure that everybody is registered to vote. So tomorrow we'll be calling and texting union members who aren't registered and encouraging them, reminding them what's at stake, and encouraging everybody to get registered for this upcoming election. So that's happening tomorrow. That'll also be happening on Saturday at 1 o'clock. But there's also something else happening on Saturday, and that is happening here in Austin around. And let me just go back and say one other thing. Your central labor councils around the state are also doing these same kind of actions. So please go on the website and look wherever you live, whether it's Houston, Dallas, Amarillo, El Paso. Union members around the state are in motion, getting the word out, and we need your voice to be part of it. So please go sign up to join our Army, and we'll get you hooked up wherever it is that you need to be hooked up.
Rick,
go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to Clara Caldwell from APRI. They had a voter registration during the weekend, and also LACLA with Linda Morales over there in Houston. And it's really exciting to see our constituency groups really stepping up and saying, hey, what are we doing to make sure that our union sisters and brothers are registered to vote? So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, it's powerful work. And, for those of you who haven't done it, to actually play a role in getting somebody engaged and saying, yeah, you know what, I understand it's important, I am going to vote. It's a really powerful work that you could do as a union member. And I guarantee you'll feel very fulfilled if you take the step to get engaged in that. Another thing that's happening this week around that is the food bank that we're doing. It's, with all the craziness in the news, it's not so much in the news all the time about what people are actually still having to deal with, because our government has not stepped up and provided the aid that people need in the context of COVID. And I was just reading today that Representative Donna Howard produced a study that showed that the governor of Texas still has $5.7 billion sitting in account that they got under the first CARES Act that they are not using to address basic needs in the community. So as usual, unions are stepping up around the state too. I know that El Paso, San Antonio, Houston have all done work to feed folks. And this weekend is Austin's turn. What's going on, Motse?
Yeah, we're super excited to be partnering with the Central Texas Food Bank and the Austin Central Labor Council. We're going to be providing boxes of food cans to our union members who have lost their job or are having a hard time in their families because of COVID. And so we're going to be serving 200 plus union members from different unions. They're going to come to the Texas AFL-CIO building on Saturday. We'll be there from 9 to noon. And, we are really excited to be able to serve our members with this help, and also to partner with the Central Texas Food Bank. They're donating the food through a grant from the Austin City Council, which is really exciting to see our city really doing that for our members.
Yeah, so that's cool. And then, so this week is full up. Tomorrow we're going to be on a national climate jobs summit as we're part of the effort to look at how to make jobs in the new green economy, union jobs, good paying jobs, address issues of inequality and climate. We'll be participating in that. And then the big event, and I guess for this one, I think we have a special guest with us tonight. So they're up. What do you know? Dean Corgi is here. Dean Corgi from the Seafarers International Union. Dean, welcome.
Thanks, Rick.
All right.
Well, I'm just a regular guy.
No. I mean, you're as special as a guest, Dean. Hold on 1 minute, because we're going to be talking about What we're talking about is our special Banding Together virtual concert on Wednesday night, where we're bringing together nationally known artists and some special guest surprise artists to do a fundraiser to raise money for our membership education and our scholarship fund. You know, usually this time of year we do our golf tournament, but we can't do our golf tournament right now. So Mark Maldonado and Lee Forbes from our staff and some others have really put together an amazing lineup of guests. And I think you might know some about it, Dean. But before we get into it, hold on, because the thing about it is Montserrat and I are going to be the DJs for this event. So if you'll just hold on 1 second, I'll be with you in a second.
Come on, Rick. I know you can.
All right.
All right.
Now, Dean, tell us about the maritones. What's going on with the maritones?
Well, you know, we're just basically a garage band that we got started up about a year ago in Houston, and it's different. It's the best example of labor management, government relations I know of. We've got a steamship CEO line. We've got the general counsel of the Port Authority. We've got a captain, a tug captain, and then you've got, of course, labor. And we just get together, we play music, and then we saw this. I had an idea. I spoke with you about it for the concert, and I put together a little song. I kind of stole part of it from another artist and then put together some words, and it kind of came out okay. So we submitted it, and then all of a sudden we got Scarface. We helped him do a song, and we're having fun. And I think that's what labor needs to do.
There you go. And I mean, Dean, don't be so modest, Dean. I mean, you talk about your group. I mean, but think about the group let's talk a little bit about the lineup that you're fitting in with. Okay, we got number one, Robert Earl Keane, who is a huge union musician, very strong union musician, is going to be playing some special songs for us that night. Alejandro Escovedo is going to be playing songs. I'm going to get back to talking to him for a minute.
Sure.
Brad Scarface Jordan is going to be speaking with us and playing some music again with the maritones. I understand that's going to be amazing. We have Bitty Bitty Bamba. We have the Tiara Girls. We have Cecilia and the Broken Hearts. We have Swerve Left. We have Mark May. I mean, it is going to be an extravaganza of folks who are all coming together under the union label to produce a concert for the enjoyment. You know, we've got plenty of hard things. We've been talking about them, but coming together is exciting. And you've been like one of the main people to help us get some of these acts. So tell us about Alejandro Escovedo and how his union background and how you all came to know each other.
Well, it's kind of an odd story, but I've been a fan of his for a long time, and we like to go see him a couple of times a year at Heights Theater here in town. And then I was just looking around at some of his songs on the internet, and I saw he had a song by the name of Tugboat. I said, Tugboat? That's unusual. So then I looked at the background of the song, and it was written about one of my members. And the member just so happened to be Sterling Morrison, a founding member of the Velvet Underground.
Wow.
And I said, this is really cool. And it was a great song, and it paid tribute to Sterling, who is deceased, and that's another story. But so I just decided, and one of my members brought me in a painting. And we have a lot of artists in our union. We have musicians, writers, artists. He brought in a painting of a tugboat, and it was the tugboat that Sterling Morrison was the captain of. And, I just said to myself, I think Alejandro Escovedo deserves this painting. So I went to the Heights Theater a couple of weeks later, and I showed up, and I asked the door manager, I said, look, I got something I need to give the Alejandro Escovedo. And he said, oh, yeah, I kind of have a hard time. But I said, I gave my card, and I said, I have a painting I want to give you of Sterling's tugboat. So one thing led to another. The painting went back there, and I went backstage and met him, and we've kind of been keeping up ever since. And he's a really cool guy. He and Sterling were good friends, and he's a big fan of the Velvet Underground. The Velvet Underground were basically the Beatles of America. I mean, they started most of what rock and roll really is. And I didn't really appreciate who Sterling was. I mean, we used to sit around on the tugboat and play guitars, and we'd be banging on them, and then Sterling would pick one up, and everybody'd go, "Whoa, this guy, he knows what he's doing."
You think he could have made it in the maritones? Is what you're saying?
A lot better than the maritones.
Okay. All right.
And I appreciate you comparing the Maritones to all those other artists, but
Oh man, it's all one. It's one woven community together, Dean.
Yeah, it is.
And so, and then, do I also understand? I mean, yes, Robert Earl Keen is playing. Yes, Alejandro Escovedo, and these are special sets that they've recorded just for us. But is it also true that Scarface is making a joint appearance with the Maritones? Can we confirm that live in front of all of our audience tonight?
Absolutely. He will be there with the Maritones at the concert.
That's amazing. What's that like?
Yeah, Brad's he's a friend of ours, and we've been friends now for, I guess, about a year, and we got to know each other when he ran for city council. We supported him. Unfortunately, we came up short, but developed a good relationship. He's been jamming with our band for quite a while. He got a little sick earlier in the year, but he's back, and he's ready to go. And I think, I mean, he brought our band to a whole new level. And plus, we had another guitarist.
I would think so. I mean, no offense, but I'm saying.
Yeah, we had a real singer for a change.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean,
Mark May helped out on guitar, and
yeah, Mark May can play the damn guitar. That was amazing.
He can play that guitar.
Yeah,
but you know, if I could just have a few minutes, you know, the idea that I had for this concert, that what I want to do is honor the frontline workers out there, and I think that's what, you know, that we try to do with our song that we have out there. And you know, if you look at the history of the labor movement, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but labor has always been the tip of the spear in every national crisis. You go back to the Great Depression, we bargained and organized our way out of it. We built a war machine in the Second World War that allowed us to defeat the enemy on Asia and Europe. We were the tip of the spear in social, economic, and civil rights justice after the war. But don't forget, it was a little union in Gdansk, Poland, that overthrew the Soviet Union. It was aided and abetted by the American labor movement. And here we are, fast forward to 2020, and it's union workers out there once again. And you know, God bless the nurses and the doctors. You can't say enough about them. And the sacrifices they've made. But behind those nurses and doctors, you have union firefighters, policemen, EMTs, food and commercial workers, truck drivers, sailors on ships bringing the goods in, longshoremen moving the goods across the dock, tugboat workers getting the ships in and out, union pilots. I mean, everybody's working together to keep the country going. And it's primarily union workers if you really look at it. And I think we should be proud of this, and we need to get that message out, and we need to honor those folks. As I know, some of the members of my union have been on ships now. They've been stuck on ships 6, 8, 10 months. And I haven't had not the first complaint, but you can't change crews right now. It's very difficult, the whole situation, but they're out there serving their country the way they know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's something we should be very proud of. And I hope it's a message that we can convey in the concert. That's just
absolutely, Dean. That's an amazing statement. I'm glad you shared that with us, because it is so much going on right now. And I think that's what, you know, it'll be an evening of fun, but the fun will be backed up by the fact that we're all union together, trying to lift each other up, because we have a hard road ahead of us. And I guess the one thing I failed to mention is, you know, many of y'all know Joe Araby out of the Insulators Union, who for years ran our golf tournament, which,
sure.
You know, and Joe retired last year. And I don't think there's a connection between the COVID ruining our golf tournament and Joe retiring. But the reality is that Joe is retiring, but Joe is coming out of retirement for this concert. And Joe is going to be not only playing some music for us, but he'll be talking about those great Zumo sausages that he always makes for us at the golf tournament. So, I mean, that's our connection to the past.
Well, he wrote a very good song for the concert.
Yeah, that's right. And so the other thing about the concert is we're trying to raise money for the scholarship fund and our Medbar Education Fund. Folks who want to can donate on that. We've got some great sponsors. And we'll be highlighting them throughout the week, all on our social media. There'll be a chance to win prizes.
Oh my God, of course we are. We're going to have some really cool prizes. three opportunities actually for you to get these prizes. But you know who I'm super excited also to see?
Who's that?
You know, like, I mean, I just gotta say it, right? Bitty Bitty Bum Bum, come on.
Yeah, that's the one you're most excited to see.
Yeah, and the Broken Hearts. I mean, come on. But you know, I'm putting my dancing shoes, and you know, I'll have a few drinks, of course, water
Right.
on the side, and I can't wait. I think we're gonna have a really good time, and you know, like Dean was saying, we're going to really highlight and uplift those workers who many times are invisible in our communities, right? But they might be invisible, but for us, they have names and they have stories, and we are here because of them, and we need to honor them. So yeah, thank you for saying that, Dean.
Yeah, I just want them to know that whether it's a nurse in an emergency room or an EMT out on an ambulance or a seaman out in the middle of the ocean on a ship, they're not there alone. We're with them.
There you go. That's great. That's awesome, Dean. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for all your help putting it together. For those of you who have never seen the Maritones out on tour, you know, like at the Toyota Center or something, this is going to be your opportunity to see them, you know, free of charge. You can make a little donation. But listen, it's going to be something that you can tell your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, that, you know, you were there that night and you saw the Maritones. As part of the concert
well, my grandson is in the video.
Oh, your that's right. And we got to make sure that the folks from the Occupational Safety and Health Administration don't see that, because that was not, I mean, y'all put him in a very precarious position.
State champion gymnastics.
Yeah, I mean, Lord have mercy. You had him sitting on a ledge about the whole time. I couldn't even listen to music. I'm worried about him falling off, but I guess he survived.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Very good.
Have a little fun. Come on.
We can have a little bit. Okay. Well, again,
that's the main thing.
That's it. So thank you all for doing that. Remember, tomorrow, voter registration day. Saturday's the food bank. You can click on Join Our Army to join and raise your voice and get union members involved in this election where the stakes have never been higher, y'all. And let me just say this. This election is not, 22 days till early voting starts, 43 days till election day. But this is not going to be over on election day, y'all. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on. We got to pay attention, keep our eyes on the ball, and make sure that the people who we vote for actually get to take office. That's going to be our job. So, Dean, thank you for being here with us tonight, brother. Thank you for your help with the concert. Montserrat, great mug, great shades.
Thanks.
Join us Wednesday night at 6, and we'll see y'all again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate what y'all are doing.
Appreciate you, sir. Thanks, Dean.
Over and out.